Hey, this is Dana with the Freedom Police channel and essenceofme.com. I'm going to warn you right now, we are going to have this glare. These are new glasses. Y'all, I love them. But it looks like I'm going to have to if I keep using natural light, I'm going to have to get like extra thick coating or something to help with this glare because I don't wear contacts. So instead of doing this, just know my eyes are back here, okay? So this is technically my 2-year Sisterlock update video. I'm going through questions that I received. I'm trying to get this done. I'm on a writing break, and the ratchetness of my life was such that I had half my hair retied, and I was not gonna come on here with half of it done, so I had to finish it. And then, so yeah, I made 2 years on the 19th of February. 18th, 19th of February, and it's the beginning of March. And so I'm still loving it. If you want to hear my responses to some of the questions that I received from you all, well, then, if I do like this, then you see me looking at me. Well, then stick around. And if not, I hope to see you on another video. Thumbs up, subscribe. Yes to the questions. I do still do crafting videos, but I mix them up. The reality is the Sisterlock videos help to bring in more people to my channel. Having a mix, I think, provides diversity, and it makes all of this fun. And lastly, I think the overarching feel and view, as far as my channel is concerned, is to share information, to educate, and to share my life. And so that's a part of this as well. So stick around if you'd like to. If not, I will see you all hopefully on another video. After the intro, I'm going to get to your questions. So I will see you all in a bit.
Don't be Don't be Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be
Okay, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. This is all about my Sisterlocks. As an update, if I do that, I'm gonna quit mentioning it, but I'm gonna keep looking at it. Let me play for a second, y'all. That doesn't make it any better. I write in my bed because it's more relaxing. And I'm taking a break, so I'm going to go to the questions. I started my locks 2 years ago. This is 2019, so it was 2017, February 18th, but I say it's the 19th because that's a special day for me and to me, so it's easy to remember. This is my second set of locks. Going over the stats. This is my second set of locks. The first set I had for 8 years. I took a 8-year, I believe it was, a break. Wearing my natural hair. And 2 years before I started my Sisterlocks, I got a curly fro hawk that was done down really short. Took it down really short. Because I knew I was going to start my locks again, and I just wanted to have a little fun with a shorter look. And originally, I planned to start my locks. I honestly planned to start them on my 40th birthday, but when I found out that Sisterlocks charges by the inch, that changed my mind. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So what I did is I cut down, I let my hair grow out a little bit because I have my sides really short, trying to get my side areas, because it was in that fro hawk, to about 2 inches or so to hit that minimum. At the time of starting my Sisterlocks, the shortest area I think was like 2 to 3 inches. The longest area was, I think it was like 7 to 9, somewhere in there, because right in here I had a lot more length, and I had different textures like a lot of us do. So the longer areas really didn't show much. And what's very interesting is some of my longer areas now are not actually my longer areas with my locks. And I think it again is because those are the areas where maybe I had a tighter coil. Technically, my hair is fine, and um, I will consider my hair fine and thin. There are some areas where I have a little bit more density, but that's not consistent all over my head. And there's a lot of areas where it's extremely fine, very soft textured, something that I think everybody have. But I think just mixed with the fact that my hair is fine and soft, and it just makes for a very interesting situation on my head. Um, One of the overarching questions that I get, especially because I'm hitting the 2 year point, is my hair locked? I would say I don't know why I always like to throw out percentages when I get on this video, but I would say yes for the most part. There are a couple of them just because I had mishaps of cutting, snipping. Y'all know how I do that. Those are not locked because the locked area was cut off. Um, so I would say the majority of my hair is locked, which is a beautiful thing, but I got to make sure I don't get lazy with that. I'll talk about that in a second. I did color my hair twice since I've had my locks. I did it for the first time last year, and I did it again this year. And last year was because I wanted color. This year was mainly because I bought 2 boxes last time, and I was like, I might as well use them. And my hair is naturally like a sandy brown, and it kind of got an icky look to it. And even now, you honestly can't see it a lot. It's like it almost as if it went black to get a little bit of color. And then when I go in the sun, you can really see it. It's a deep purple kind of color, which I love. And it kind of makes me think I may actually do it like once a year. Who knows? I don't miss my disrespectful gray, and I think it just adds a little, something to it. So that's my lay of the land, I think. I started my sister locks with a sister lock consultant in the Houston area. I've been self maintaining my locks since I think I was maybe somewhere between the 4 and 6 month mark. You can go back in my videos and watch. I think I was shy of 6 months. I was planning originally. I knew I was going to maintain my locks myself. I in my mind, I thought I was going to stay with my sister loctician for 1 year. But I can't remember why. We just thought I was ready, and I was already doing stuff, and she just knew I wasn't going to last long. I love taking care of my own hair, and it just took over from there. Um, Before I get to the questions, would I do it again? Yes. Hell yeah. No, I won't say that. I would do it again, and I probably would have done it sooner. I think the only thing that I probably would have done differently is I would have not cut my hair short for those 2 years. I think I would have went right into sister locks, and but on the flip side, I'm glad that I did cut my hair short because it really, I think cutting your hair short, and this has nothing to do with locks, but it's just insert. I think cutting your hair short and wearing your hair short at least once in your life for however long you need it to feel comfortable and feel good in your skin. I think it's important for every woman because you don't want to have this fear of what if I got to cut my hair all off. And I think that comes with locks because there is a sense of permanence. Even though nowadays it's not uncommon to hear about people picking their locks out, I tried that. I know that I would never do that. If I ever got rid of my locks again, I would cut them all off and rock a shortcut. And you just got to be comfortable with your swag and who you are and how you live your life to wear your hair anyway, whether it's a weave, a braids, a locks, a bald headed if you want to, and you're still you. And so I needed that time to know I could do it, to know I could rock it. I had my hair short like at that point, it was probably more than 10 years prior, longer than that. Dang, how many years? It was eight. More than 15 years before that was the last time I wore my hair short, and I just wanted to do it. So that's the area where I'm like, would I do that again? I don't know, because I feel like my hair would have been in a different place had it been the length that it was when I cut it. And I always did stuff around my birthday. It was just something that I was ready for, and so yeah. Okay, here we go. Questions. Your hair. Oh, someone says it's Nisha. Your hair looks like mine. How many locks do you have? She said she has 368 locks. I do not have 368 locks. I have ballpark 270 ish. I have to say that ish because since I've maintained myself, I've started some, I've combined some, and actually, when I was doing because I knew I was coloring my hair, I let my hair grow out longer than normal. So that meant when it was time for me to color my hair, because my hair is soft, when it's time to wash, I know those roots, because they're not locked, you get a lot more like, and that would be considered like slippage or whatever. So I knew I was gonna have that. But there were some areas where, because my hair is so soft, especially up in here, that I end up going ahead and combining them. A lot of the ones in this area are super small to kind of say with the Sisterlock kind of look. And I didn't really care for that. One, because they're just so small and my hair is fine. So when you're retying them, you have to be so careful. And I'm not good about being careful. When I'm doing my hair, I'm watching TV. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm watching TV, I'm watching videos, I'm listening to a book. I'm not focused on what's going on in my head. And I don't want to have to worry about combining locks unintentionally. So when I got ready to do my color, and after the color, a couple of them were just almost so totally unraveled because they're so fine. And because I removed the lock extensions from those couple, I just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm just gonna combine it with the one as closest to it. I think I lost, of course, some of my grid, but you can't tell because I don't wear a middle part. I usually always wear one to the other, one side, a deep part from one side to the other, and so you really can't tell. Or it's in a bun, and so across the front, it's fine. So to answer your question, 270 ish. If I had to be more exact, I would probably say more like 265. Um, just going off of memory. But another reason why I have fewer locks is because we knew that I wanted to maintain them myself, and I didn't want to maintain that many. And I'm glad. I probably would have took another handful off if I had to do it again. Um, do you have permanent hair color, and how far along in your journey did you go before you decided to color your hair? Yes, it's permanent color. I did a box color. And I ain't even ashamed about it. Uh, I did what I normally did when I had loose hair before. I always colored my hair. For a season, I used um, henna, but I didn't want to use the henna on my hair until it fully locked, because when I did henna, I used to use coconut milk, and that was so that you would maintain the softness of your hair. And I didn't want to use the coconut milk on my locks before I knew they were fully matured. I honestly think somewhere in my brain I will go back to henna. Henna was easy. It also it made your hair really strong, and it just made for a natural appearance to the hair color without it being so bold. But for this time around, I used L'Oreal. I always use L'Oreal before. This time, I picked this particular one just because the color. And L'Oreal and I want to say it's Garnier Fructis was the shampoo conditioner line, and I used to use their brand of color, whatever that was, on my loose natural hair because I loved. They used to have one with I think it was some oil. I think it was with olive oil that you would actually put directly into it, and so and it probably is L'Oreal. So I use the L'Oreal. The color is called Power of Purple. It is what they call intense deep violet. I'm going to just show you the picture here. Why I love purple. Purple and teal are my colors. I also knew it wasn't going to be a real purple because I was not going to bleach it or anything like that. And so I knew, according to the box, that because my hair was so dark, that it would just be a nice, warm, neutral kind of purple, burgundy color. And because my natural color is not a black, but more of a brown, I knew I would get enough color deposit that I would be pleased with it. In the summertime, it does get a little rich, like a little brighter once I'm in the sun. So I knew it was tame enough to do this time of year, but vibrant enough to really show in the summer. So that was a long answer. Permanent color, I was almost exactly 1 year into it, and the second time that I've colored, I was 2 years. Do you still have slippage? If not, when did it stop and are you fully locked? Do I still have slippage? Yes. And I literally can pinpoint the areas. It's one lock here, one back here, one over here. And I think so. And then because I've combined the 2 or 3 up here, it was like those same 5 or 6. And I combined those here, so it'll probably be like 2. I believe that those will kind of get a little bit more stable probably by the end of this year. And I say that because now when they slip, it doesn't slip completely loose. It's just a little more slippage than normal. And those areas, my hair has always been super soft, like baby slick. And because I use conditioner, yes, I do use conditioner. Because I use conditioner, that means like when I color, I get more slippage. But when I'm just doing a shampoo, I don't get a lot. So, yeah, I do. It stopped for the most part to where I know it now when I was about 9 months, 9 to 11 months. I could pinpoint where the slippage was. So the way that I limit that slippage normally is I retie those few before I shampoo and condition my hair, or before I shampoo my hair. If I know I'm going to condition it, well, I'm sorry. Before I go into my wash day, I will retie those areas. If I know that if I'm not gonna use conditioner on that particular time, I will just retie them down just a little bit, not all the way down to my scalp, right? And the reason why I do that is because I want to make sure that I get my roots like really, really good when it comes to the shampoo. But if I know that I'm going to condition, I will retie it all the way down as if it's normal, and that way, if I have any slippage, it doesn't come, like it's not a big deal for the retying. But for the most part, that's not necessary. This time around, it was necessary because of I knew I was coloring, and the color has its own conditioning properties, so your hair won't get so dry. Then you shampoo, then you condition it, so your hair won't get so dry. So not only was I conditioning, but I was conditioning twice, and so that meant a little more slippage, which is another reason why I just went ahead and combined those on top. And it was a toggle between adding the lock extensions to those back, or combining, and I just went with combining. It just makes it easier. The next question. I will be starting my second set of Sisterlocks in April. I too have a taper cut and I'm growing out my sides and back. Do you have any tips for growing them out? Yes. I believe in the power of essential oils. I have always used them on my hair for as long as I've been natural. The first time after starting my cutting my hair, man, I wish I would have kept up with the years. I always remember times by my birthday, but I just I just believe in essential oils. So I'm gonna tell you the ones that I always use. Um, and I do have to just say it with this mild caveat. I believe my hair thrives in locks. And I think that's one of the reasons why I experience a lot of growth when I have locks. And um, I know this to be a fact because my first set of locks, by the time I cut my hair at the 8 year point, I was sitting on my locks. And so I still think that that was fast because when I started those locks, I had less than 2 inches of hair. And so my hair just thrives, which is always done. um, when I had braids, my hair grew really fast. That was always my style for growing out. A mistake in my relaxer, a mistake in my color or whatever, put it in braids, put it in twists. I know I'm going to grow out of that quick. And so and then if you believe in this, which I do, okay, um, my mother always told me when I was a child that I had growing hands, and I believe that too. I believe that, and that's an old saying. I don't even hear people say that anymore. But I remember when I was younger, my mother did braids, and that's how I learned how to do braids as a child. And she would have me always do her hair, like cornroll her hair down. If she was getting a sew-in or doing clients, they would always ask me to do their cornrows. From as young as probably, I don't know because I'm awful with time, but I would think somewhere between the age of 7 and 10 is when I really got good at corn rolling hair. And then by the time I was 10 to 12ish, I could do a full set of braids and stuff. And then by the time I was in my teens, I could fully do my own. And so I believe in that. I say all this to say it may not be across the board, right? Like you may do it and it may not work, but yeah, I think my hands got that magic touch. Okay, stop being silly. Okay, so tips: essential oils, rosemary, peppermint, tea tree. You don't need a lot of it. You just need to do it on a fairly consistent basis. Massage your scalp. That's important. And I think the best thing you could ever do, and it could be just my hair, is leave it alone. So what I would do, if I was trying to grow my hair out to get locks and I had a taper cut, I personally would do something like a crochet braids. That way you can have something fairly nice, can go to work, professional, presentable, looking nice without a lot of strain on your hair. And I would say do that for 4 to 6 months. Now you just have to be careful because if the rest of your hair is fairly long, well then, you're going to pay for those inches unless your consultant is going to kind of just like, it's okay because the rest of it is short. And you also run the risk of that you have more slippage because the rest of your hair is short. But what I would do is I would just wear crochet braids. And then once it grows out a little bit, I would do something quick like 2-strand kinky twists. That's what I would do. Spraying your scalp on a consistent basis, massaging your scalp when you can, not using a lot of harsh chemicals, a lot of heavy chemicals, especially if you already know you want to lock it up. So you just want to make sure that you have a very healthy head of hair. Ensuring that you are conditioning it on a regular basis, that you are deep conditioning it on a regular basis, especially if you have a kinkier texture hair. Doing that will ensure that you're not snapping your hair just because you have a tight coil. I'm not a beautician. I'm one of them kitchen beauticians from the old school. I would have been the one in your kitchen you going to on Sundays after church to or on Saturdays to get your hair done for church on Sunday. Okay, that's what I would do. When you do the essential oils, add it to other stuff. You could add it into your conditioners and shampoos. I tried that. I don't prefer that. What I prefer is to add my essential oils into a hair spray that I use on my hair. Typically, the liquid is a water, aloe vera juice mixture. You can add in, if your hair is a loose natural, some leave-in conditioner to make your hair really soft, and then add in the drops of the pure essential oil. It will be costly in the beginning, but the essential oils last for a really long time. And when I do a spray, I do add oils to them, ensuring that I use something like a vitamin E oil or something to just help with like a natural preservative. Oh, another thing, if while you're growing them out, um, is that's another reason why I used head wraps, just to make sure that there is not a lot of tension and wear on your hair. Oh, there is another question that I've received several times, which is concerning my Sisterlock shirt. I don't know. I received that shirt from my Sisterlock consultant that she gives. I don't think she does it anymore though. That she gives when you do a new install, but as a gift. But she doesn't sell those right now. Regarding my shampoo and conditioner, I am still using the Carol's Daughter. I love the smell. I love the smell. I love the way it makes my hair feel. What I don't like is I feel like they have a premium product in cheap packaging. I mean, it makes no sense to me that you spend that much on that shampoo and that pump is crap. So what I end up doing is transferring it into an old hair face moisture face cleanser pump bottle, and it's been perfect ever since. But yeah, I'm using the Carol's Daughter, because I do have the color. I always alternate between the color, because the Carol's Daughter is supposed to be safer color, but I do use one of the ones that protect for red hair, even though this is not red but it's a purple, so I kind of treat it the same. Oh, another question that I've received a couple times is, what is the 12-point rotation? And essentially, if you look at a compass, every notch on a standard compass, like your north, your northwest, your west, or all of and the ones in between, you hit each one of those points for that single lock. And that's one of the things that I usually will do when I have an area that slips a lot. When it comes to the point rotation that I do now, it's typically a three, what I call a modified 3-point. I call it that because I don't know what they call it because I'm not a Sisterlock consultant. I always default to my nappy locks. Um, that's the way I started my first set of locks. And the reason why I started them with that method is because I bought a book and I bought a tool and I used that. And so whenever I'm trying to figure it out, I lean on what I read there and my prior existence with knowing my own hair. So that's the 12-point rotation. My modified 3 is, if you think 12, 3, 9, right? 12, 3, 9. What I would do is I go in 12, I go in 3. I go in 12, I go in 9. I go in 12, I go in 3. I go in 12, I go in 9. So that's what I do. Why do I do that? No, it's not a full, like a round rotation, but I'm not a loctician, so I'm not going to tell y'all. I don't think that that's necessary, as long as I'm not putting too much strain on it to where I can cause a weakness in a particular spot, which I believe weakness can result from going in the same spot twice. So I don't do that. But that's the way I do it, to get a nice tight or a nice consistent retie, and nice and secure. And for the most part, I actually just do 2 points. 12, 3, 12, 3, 12, 3, 12, 3 until it's done. So I only use the modified 3 now for those areas where those couple now, those 2 or 3 that are a little bit looser in texture. I'm going to check one more place that I had questions presented. Oh, this is long. My bad. What has been the most difficult to deal with your Sisterlocks? What lessons have you learned from mistakes thus far? What has been the most difficult? I honestly think it's not difficult, but for me, I had to get back into the mode of trusting myself. I think Sisterlocks has a lot of rules, and because you now have a very vibrant social media presence with Sisterlocks, I think, especially because I share. I'm sorry, I keep saying because I didn't think about these before. Especially because I share, you may feel a little bit of pressure to be like, I don't braid and bend, I retie my own hair, like all these things. And I understand that I'm technically in my book a rebel regarding that, but I don't think it's a rebel. I think that's just innate for somebody like me who does my own hair. I mean, think about it. As far as you can go back in time when it concerns Black women's hair, people have always, Madam C.J. Walker, like, oh, we do what we do is best for our hair. We was doing hair in the kitchen, was doing with a hot comb, was doing it in the stove. We was doing our own braids, was doing our own, finger waves, was doing your own sew ins, doing that type of thing. And I love the ability to trust myself to do what I need to do for me. But when you have something and you enter a community and you enter a certain set of rules that are established, I understand that, but I had to just go with my gut and understand too what comes with that is that then I accept the consequences and I'm okay with that. But I think that's the most difficult thing. And I think the other part about it is that I also understand that it can be it can also come with its own set of scrutiny because again, like I do have thin edges and it's always that way, and you don't want to, for a long time, like you don't want to say anything because you don't want someone to say, use that as a reason as to why maybe what you have to share is not valid. But at the same time, I'm realizing the more that I share, I am not the only one. And everybody has their own ways of dealing with and handling and adjusting to having fine edges. And one of the best things that I ever did was go natural. I thought that because I went natural, it would allow it to grow back, and it has in some ways. But for the most part, I'm okay with the fact that it may look like this for the rest of my life. And I may be okay with it because I know when my hair grows out, you won't see it. I know that. Just like now, it's getting more and more where you won't see it. This time next year, you probably won't see it at all until I show you. And so it'll be interesting to look at that next year. What lessons I have learned from mistakes thus far? The mistakes that I've done, I think, is not paying attention when I'm doing my reties, but I accept that that's a part of my process too because I watch movies when I'm doing my hair, and that's what makes it relaxing. Another thing is that I have to also accept slippage because I don't braid and bend. I did not braid and bend. And but I accept the consequences for that. You're gonna hear my family; they're coming in. And so I don't consider those mistakes. I consider those learning. The only other thing I would have done is maybe done it earlier. Um, are you strict with the rules for sister locks? No, I just said all of that. I'm not strict, but that's because I feel like I think this probably would be a mistake in the beginning because I realized I was breaking so many rules that I was trying to follow some rules so I wouldn't be just this total do what you want to do. And I think I would change that because I believe doing things that certain way, my hair is easily trained. Okay, I'll say it like that. My hair is easily trained. And so and so, so when I was doing all those things to follow the rules, I feel like I babied my hair a little too much, and that made it harder for me. And I think like I think I would have been locked way sooner had I not followed some of the sister lock rules way sooner. And because that's one of the things that I just did not, that was one of the things that I feel like some of the rules that I followed because I had sister locks was the only big distinction that I could tell in my hair from the first time that I had locks, and my hair locked faster last time, in my opinion. Um, are you still experiencing itching with Sisterlock shampoo? I don't use the Sisterlock shampoo, so I can't tell you. But I didn't like the Sisterlock shampoo. And I'm gonna take that back like wee little bit. Every once in a while I use it because I want to use it up because I technically paid for it. I'm one of those people when it comes to products. I like to use up my stuff, but I don't experience itching. And I think my spray kind of curbed a lot of that. Yeah. Are you still using it? Nope, not using stock shampoo. What is your bedtime routine? Great question. Don't have one. Except for I wear my I do cover my hair almost every single night. And again, I think that's honestly and one of those things that I think. Okay, I'm gonna say it. This video already long. Not washing my hair often as I used to do, or wetting my hair as often as I did when my first locks, I feel like was the first mistake. I think that helped my hair lock faster. Yes, did that mean I have had to retie a lot more frequently when I had my baby locks the first time? Yes, but I think having it in the water more frequently made my hair lock faster. When I did my first set of locks, I think I washed my hair or I wet my hair extensively 2 to 3 times a week. And with Sisterlock, I didn't. So I think that was one of the things. Number two, with my first set of locks, I did not wrap my hair at all until I probably was about 4 or 5 years into it, maybe, that I can remember, maybe longer. And the only reason why I did it then is because when I would sleep, I didn't like it to get on my face. So I would do it like I had a satin thing and I would just wrap it up around like this just to keep my hair pulled back. And I think having the friction made my hair lock faster. The friction of being on cotton. And I know why we don't put it on cotton, it dries your hair out, but the friction of rubbing against the cotton, I think it made my hair lock faster last time. That and being in water. So, I mean, people can believe that's wrong, but I believe it's true for my hair, especially for someone that has really soft hair. I think having the friction of that natural cotton helps. Now, does that mean I had to look out for lint and stuff? I think maybe some, but towards the I think I always had a satin pillowcase, but I just didn't tie and have the satin. That's the difference, right? And now I wear my bonnet every night, and it's actually a slap that I wear, and I sleep on a satin pillowcase. And I may every once in a while don't wear it, but it's literally because I'm exhausted, and my husband can't put it on my head while I'm asleep. So yeah, so I do that. I do not moisturize. I do not wet. I don't do any of those things before I go to sleep, and that's because I have very sensitive skin. And so anything that was on my head that gets on my pillowcase will then cause me to break out. And so that's why I don't do it. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. I'm going to try my best to just do a little bit of it's my hair. My ducktail is starting to like go away. um, this is it, y'all. And you can see the color a little bit, but it just kind of darkened everything, honestly. And for the most part, I wear it like this or in a bun because that makes a pretty cool bun. And my grid is pretty cool, actually. Still, I've maintained that well. Again, a lot of here I kind of combined, and you can see the color a little bit. Oh, you can see the color there. It's fresh. I just finished this top section today. And I retie traditionally every 6 weeks. That's the longest. This time I think it was closer to 8 because of everything that was going on, but for the most part it's every 6 weeks. I use the same tools that I showed before. I added in a new tool this past time because I saw another lady talk about it, and I bought it on Amazon, and it was great. And so that's what I use. But that's it. I have no intentions of going back to my Sisterlock consultant anytime soon. I've been toying with the idea of whether I want to go and get certified as a Sisterlock consultant. I just don't know if I can be, and that I have maintained them myself. But it would be pretty dope to be able to help people start their locks, especially for people that are like me, just because I just have experience. But I mean, anybody. And I think that's it. So let me know if you have more questions. I'm loving it. I wouldn't change anything else. I'm loving how it's growing out. Uh, the area that I was talking about before, like right in here, this is my longest area, and it feels like it's my shortest area. But I think it's because this is a tighter coil of my hair, and so I just feel like it just. The other thing that I may do, and it won't be this time, is there's a few of my locks that I may go through and just kind of cut the ends from where I did have the cupies. Because some of my cupies locked up a little bit fatter than the rest of the lock. And so that kind of shows a little bit. But it does make it look fuller when it's like this. So that's why I haven't touched it. And I still get the itch every once in a while to cut like little stragglies, but for the most part I don't have anything to cut anymore. Like I don't have a lot of loose strands, strands that get caught on the other locks. Like I don't have any of that anymore. So that's it. And yes, she does have hang time. So that's it. This is a long video. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have other questions, and if there's any other Sisterlock videos you would like for me to do. And that's it, because for the most part, I'm low maintenance. I just wash and rock. Wash, rock, and read. So don't forget to thumbs up, and thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and I will talk with you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care, and goodbye.